Hey guys, it's Tarwin coming at you with another game of Minecraft. But of course, really what we're doing is planting wheat. All things great and beautiful derive from the ability to plant wheat. The cereal crops are very important, and Minecraft allows us to really explore in great detail what they mean. You know, for the functioning of a grand society. So let's just go ahead and lay down for the night, because of course you got to have the sunlight. It's not like this wheat field is based on best practices or anything. We don't have light to carry it onward whenever we're asleep. But we don't need that. All we need is tenacity. 'Cause it's better to be hardworking than anything else. Hey Angelo, good evening. It's nice to see you. Tomorrow is the worst day of the year. I I hate messing with time so much it feels wrong. I don't want to get into it, but I'm doing all right. I don't know. It's called daylight savings time. I don't want to like complain too much about it because it's sort of like a meme to complain about it. But I don't know if you have that in Brazil. I think not though. But that's about to happen. So like tomorrow, like right now, I believe you're what? It's like 2:30 in the morning for you. But tomorrow it'll be 11:30 for me, but it'll be 1:30 for you. So we'll move an hour closer together in time due to my ridiculous government and the rules that they put onto the clocks. But like I said, I'm not going to get into it. But that'll be exciting. Not really, because what it means is I have to get ready for work an hour earlier, which is the only reason I really care. You used to have something like that? Yeah. I know a lot of places do, but I also know that a lot of places don't. And because I crave regularity so much, you know. You called it summer clock, yeah. I hate our name for it. Hello, Citra. Indeed, finally, wheat. This is what the people want. And if it isn't, well, it is what they are most assuredly going to get. Wheat today, wheat tomorrow, wheat forever. I shouldn't have stomped on the wheat. That is sort of against what I claimed we were going to do for the wheat. It's alright. The wheat will forgive me. And if not, then we will replace it with wheat that doesn't even know what happened. Yeah, every now and then, whenever a politician wants a bunch of people to clap, they'll like say that they're gonna get rid of it, but they never do. They never do. I This will amuse you or not. So like in my clock, there's like in my car there's a digital clock. I said the wrong noun at the start. In my car there's a digital clock, as there are in most cars, and I allow it to be wrong for like a really long time, like 3 or 4 months. I just have it be an hour off because I just don't feel like changing it. That's the kind of person I am. Because like I know what time it really is, right? But my phone is my alarm clock, and it automatically updates. I think it's dead right now. Yes, my phone is dead right now. I should charge it. uh, I just don't care about my phone very much. That's a subject that's gonna come up when I talk occasionally. Centaur, you ask if these streams are literally just tweet. Oh yes. Oh, I'm afraid so. Um, yeah, you don't get a wheat field this size by mixing it up. But yeah, sometimes I'll fly somewhere else. Sometimes I'll talk about stuff that's not wheat. But yeah, it's usually mostly wheat. So sometimes I'll like fly and look at some stuff that I've built or talk about stuff that happened in the past on the server on the world. It's just me here. But mostly, yeah, mostly just wheat. Sometimes I go and mend the tools using wheat or a sword. But that counts under just wheat. But the field is... I used to be like KG and be like, it's sort of big. I think it's, it's a very large wheat field. What if I plant one carrot that is not just wheat? I actually have like some carrots and potatoes, but they were planted a long time ago, before this field really got its identity. Have you not seen Weent Park, Centaur? Have you never like? Because we could take a small tour. We're not gonna fly over everything I've ever done, but we'll show you like the wheat field, and we could show you the carrots, proving to you that I've grown them. It's gonna be so weird when I'm done and the temple to wheat has been built and I do whatever it is I'm doing. I've been brainstorming for like for my grand accomplishment, and I think I might build like a giant like statue out of wheat and then burn it down. My water, oh, it's complicated. I do know that you want water for the crops to grow, but so I don't always have all of it irrigated. Here, like, let me just fly over it really quick. I feel like it'll be quicker to show you. So over here, right, where we look down, you've got like water there, and then all of the orange little specks, those are slabs, so those almost always conceal water for irrigation as well. So, we've got that section there. But the point I'm making with irrigation is once you get to a certain scale, and this is why I said it would be faster to show you, once you get to a certain scale, I mean, do you really want to irrigate all of it? The point of the wheat field is the beauty and magnificence of wheat, after all, as I hope we're demonstrating here. And here we've got this, which is heavily irrigated, which is when I run out of seeds, But yeah, and then over here, so some more wheat. Oh, Centaur, we're not done. This is Wheat Mountain, the centerpiece of Wheat Park. And then over here on this side, we've got a little bit more wheat. But I do agree that irrigation is important. However, as you see from the size of the project, it's not 100% necessary at all times to have that irrigation going on. Because little by little, the wheat will just grow just by existing in your presence. And, well, yeah. But, yes, that's Wheat Park. And that's what we do here. And that's why just wheat is the way it is. But, so right here so this is like old time. We're not going to go through the whole history of it. But we do have like some carrots and beetroot called the new field. This was not like part of the original plan, the very original one. But now we're just taking over this whole savanna. So you see that we left that part alone, and then this here. This island used to be like a small base of operations, so I have a bunch of like weird stuff there, and trees and sugarcane and whatnot. But so we left this forest, this tree land. Look at me knowing English there by the thing. But yeah, so we're just taking over the savanna, and then we'll get over here, and this is where the Temple of Wheat will one day be built, here on top of this savanna mountain, which I cleared ages ago because I wanted to build something here and then never did. But and I even built a little stairway into the side of the mountain, because this is before I discovered that I could just put it into spectator mode and fly because I'm lazy. But yeah, so that's the wheat field, and and I'm very proud of it. But that's why all we do in the streams is wheat, because otherwise, we would never get it done. But I do other stuff in Minecraft. I have a hardcore world at, it's the day like 380 or so now, and I have planted only a very reasonable, very small amount of wheat. It belies nothing of the madness within when you see the amount of wheat that I've planted in that world. But you know, I am a creature of extremes, and it often pleases me to be excessive. Exactly, Angelo. Manually corrupting the world. I think of that often. I need to play Terraria again. I just the inventory got me so upset. But a viewer was telling me to check out Journey Mode. I guess in Journey Mode you can get like, you get items and then you break them, or you put them into the system, and then eventually you can like pull infinite ones out once you've gotten like a couple of them like researched or whatnot, which I think could be nice. I wouldn't want to do it like constantly, but just like if I knew I had something but I couldn't find the box, because that's the worst. That's the worst feeling in all of video games to me. It makes my skin feel so hot. It's just terrible. And if I can like not have that feeling happen, that'd be fine. Because I don't mind the difficulty being where it was or whatever. Like I had to quit the hard mode just because I was bad and shouldn't have been there. But the game frustrated me just because I'm so bad at managing inventories. I guess I could make like a detailed plan for how to do it and then not do it. Like in my Minecraft worlds, I get little boxes set up, and you're only supposed to put one kinds of thing in them, and I'll put like symbolic blocks underneath them to show like what's supposed to be in there. And like 2 weeks later, just the most ridiculous trash is in these boxes. Like you would not believe the stuff that I'll put into places that are supposed to have like a very specific purpose. There's chests in this world, which is like basic. I think of this as my first world, right? This is the world where I learned to play Minecraft. I spun up a couple of ones before this one, but this is the first one that I stayed in. But I have boxes that, you know, they had wood in them for months, and then one day I just started putting raw beef into them because I killed like 700 cows one day, and I needed space, and now it's all shambles. Centaur, you say you're trying to beat Bloodbath on Geometry Death on mobile? Well, good luck. I have heard of that level. 48% is a great result. Yeah, the chest management in Minecraft is especially bad. It was just somewhat easier for me, I guess, because I don't know. I think the UI scaling it wasn't scaling enough for me for Terraria. But it's also, you know, like I'm playing in 4K, and then, you know, it's even when you scale it up, it's pretty tiny. Alright, so I know I have all this wheat, so you would think that I know what I'm doing. What I'm doing now is objectively one of the worst ways to plant wheat. You don't walk around forward and backward. You do what I'm doing now. This is how to plant wheat. Sometimes I catch myself doing it, you know, because, you know, you just want to look around. But that's not the way to do it. Straight up and down. And you can do the line however far. You can't do it super far. As you see, sometimes we'll go over it, and the preparing of the ground, the tilling will already have disappeared. That's the risk of doing it non-irrigated. Of course, irrigated ground maintains that tilling, unless somebody stomps on it or whatever. But it takes so much more effort to irrigate land than it does to plant it, after all. And since we've got what, like 20,000 seeds or so laid away in the chests, I think actually it might be far less than that. We've been doing a lot of wheat lately. Yes, Cloudy Tab. Sorry, I have some irrigated spaces. It's actually a very large wheat field. But I do appreciate the tip. I actually need to go grab some seeds real quick, so we'll just show you this. This is just like a spur of it. I'm not gonna like brag about the huge. We've already taken a tour not too long ago, but over here I've got my seed boxes. Oh, I don't have my seed boxes. Oh man. All right. Well, you know what that means. It's time to harvest wheat. So I guess we'll go to the main field. This is a rare treat, guys. We almost never harvest wheat on stream, but we're almost out of what's the point of such a wheat farm? The love of the game. I think it's pretty. I like it. I've always liked it. I built the wheat before I knew what wheat was for, and I regret nothing. We're gonna hop down here. So we've got a couple really good straightaways for farming wheat over here. This is a traditional wheat farming spot. But yeah, we're now doing like a wheat biome thing, but that's like, I would consider that like the second phase in wheat. The original point was just like that I thought it was pretty. I didn't even know, like, so the world was peaceful. I didn't even like make bread for villagers. I didn't understand that any of that was important. I just thought it was pretty, so I started doing it. So I've been playing Minecraft since like June of last year, and this field, the first wheat field video would have been called, I think it's Farm of Reasonable Size, which is an awesome name for a video. And although I made it myself, it's just a really good name. And that would have been in August of last year. But the wheat field, so like 6-7 months, something like that. You know, obviously I don't do it every single day, or it would be even more impressive. But so very important, you want to mine your wheat with a tool with fortune. Probably everybody knows that, but if anybody is learning, you know, then that's what you do. You'll note that this area where I do harvest wheat from is a place that is properly irrigated, because when you have a field of this size, you just pick places that you're going to mine your wheat from. I know mining wheat isn't a traditional way to describe it, but it's sort of how I think about it, you know. Some people mine diamonds, some people, you know, mine gold, and oh, you don't need a bug to plant wheat in the Nether. You can just grow it because you don't have to have water. I grew wheat and I've got wheat planted in the Nether in my hardcore world. Not like a ton, just like a little bit to be funny. And like I got some normal trees down there and stuff too. 'Cause wheat still grows. You say if I get Nether, it definitely goes low. I never go into the Nether, so I've only beat the game one time on hardcore. I've never beat it on this world. I don't actually know where the end portal is at. So, you know, we've got some stuff to do. Stats check, yes. Everybody loves a good stats check. All right, so we have used the diamond hoe 311,000 times. That one's no good. We only care about wheat seeds because the diamond hoe could have been used to hit whatever thing. So 225,000 uses of the wheat seeds, and we've mined 63,000. So it looks like, damn, like there's what, 160,000 or so wheat seeds in the field, and then a bunch picked up. They might be lost somewhere. There might be like bunches of chests that I have forgotten about somewhere else. Or maybe my math is really off. Or maybe anyway, still, a whole lot of wheat. That's pretty cool. So, you know, quarter of a million total wheat interactions. These are rookie numbers, though. The real amount of wheat will have to be 10 times that high. But you don't have to worry about, like, the durability of the hoe very much, because, I mean, yeah, it wears down eventually. Not from hitting wheat, though. And, of course, once the field is already irrigated and tilled, you don't have to use it again. So it's really just for hitting new stuff. But I have what I call the field of 1,000 cows. It's more like 1,700 right now. 1,750 cows or so, but I call it the field of 1,000 cows. By tradition, 1,000 was the goal, so I just call it that. There's not a sign or anything. It's just what I named it, you know, in my head. But so I guess like it would have more durability on it, but we just pop in over to home and you know and do that every now and again. So if I was doing this like from scratch, I would never have like this big oasis of water here. But it's very traditional. That was part of the land that we didn't change. This was quite different once upon a time, as you might imagine. There used to be trees here and all sorts of stuff. A couple of these areas, you know, there'll be like little weird hollows and stuff underneath them. Yes. Wheat today, wheat forever. But yeah, but this is what farming the wheat looks like, and I'm like, oh no, are we capped out? No, only just. All right, so we can just hop on over to the field of 1,000 cows real quick. Looks like I probably have some wheat seeds in these. This is like this is a traditional place for me to AFK and spend time because all of these lines are all like pretty farmable, and so we just tend to do like this whole section here to the left. But yeah, so you see here we make the wheat up. There's a buried little thing here, and we get the hay bales. So there's just like what that's 7, 8 stacks there. So there's like 500 hay bales just hanging out in there, and that's just where we leave them. Oh yeah, we were flying too high for the golems. So there's also like an abnormally large amount of golems. These are for historical reasons. We're not going to get into it. I'm like, where are more chests? These chests. I'm like, I should have had... Nope, there's just a ton more hay bales there. All right, so we definitely need to... Man, we got to get way more wheat seeds. That's a nice dream, isn't it, Centaur? Wouldn't that be wonderful to have finally achieved total wheatception when Wheat Park covers everything? More hay bales. I'm like, don't I have more chests? No, they're up here to the left. That's right. This part that was flattened here, at one point I was thinking I was just going to flatten this whole thing. I was going to make a project. It was going to be an utterly flat thing of wheat. And then once I got here, first of all, it was a lot of effort and I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to plant wheat. I didn't want to like hit rocks and stuff. But I also... All right, so more bone meal, more hay. But yeah, we gotta farm more seeds. Well, we're just gonna stick them right there, and then go grab some more. Superplane worlds, I've already heard of them, but this is my world. These villagers, oh no, they know me. We're pals. I mean, not the ones of this village. This village has a tragic history. We're not going to go all the way through it, but it's very sad. But the one out on the island, they like me a lot better there. But yeah, this is my place. I like it. It's my silly little world. Here's the first canal I ever built. Y'all, you don't even know how hard I tried on this canal. So first of all, I hadn't discovered bucket technology, and I was trying to build a canal without buckets, which, well, you can't really do, but man, I was trying. I dug so much in there. It was an absolute wasteland. And because, you know, most of these areas weren't supposed to connect, like those, that area there didn't connect with the wider lake. We've done a lot of work here. Also, the cherry trees, you could probably figure out that they're not native. I make them anywhere I go. I think they're very pretty. So. But this is spawn, or like right around it. We had originally made like a wooden box house like everybody else, and then we tore it down to make a granite one. Don't ask me why, I don't remember why. So this is the field of 1,000 cows. Right now it is only 1,500? Man, killed more than I thought. But anyway, so when you have too many cows, you can just get less. And that is what I would recommend. That music was very ominous. It was very, you're being a villain right now. I accept. Don't be scared for me, Centaur. Be scared for the cows. Don't be scared for the cows. They are fulfilling their destiny. It is their destiny. To be slain, you know, for the glory of the land. Wait, no, I don't want to bring the sword with me. That's the entire opposite of the point. The sword has to stay here, or I'll leave it in some other box. But yes, let's just do villain stuff and then ride our boat away underneath the obelisk. Angelo, yes, the original soundtrack is copyright free. However, I found when I played Minecraft that they didn't play the songs often enough. I guess I could, yeah, run just the playlist of the music, you know. Why didn't I ever think of that? As opposed to doing it, like, you know, organically through the game. Because I would play and then there'd be, you know, wide stretches where there wasn't any sound. As you know, I don't know what I'm doing with this. But yeah, that's a great idea, because you definitely are permitted to use it while you're playing the game. You say I could have used ice? I've seen that happen whenever I've been like accidentally on ice, but doesn't ice melt? I'm gonna pretend to know everything about it, or really much about it. I've just seen ice melt in the game before, but I've never tried to mess around with it too much. I've only played many hundreds of hours of Minecraft in the last, you know, 8 months, but I learn almost nothing. The compact ice doesn't melt. Ah, I see. You say if someone stole 1,000 wheat from my farm, I would not notice at all? You underestimate my power. Have you ever heard the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? I don't know if they have it everywhere, but it's a story that they tell in my native land. It's probably from Europe. But anyway, The comparison I'm making is that I can tell if someone has been sitting in my chair. I can tell if someone has been in my room. I can tell if someone has moved a book from one position on my bookshelf to another one. And I would absolutely know if you removed wheat that I had personally planted from this. I have a very specific set of wheat-related memory skills, and I will use them to find out whoever broke in and took my beloved plants away. I'm mentally accountable for every single fragment of wheat here, every single spikelet, lovingly planted manually by me for the benefit of the land. No, I can be very absent-minded about things, but I have rather a very specific memory for other things. It's one of those qualities of mine that bothers people. Where I'll like forget to be like a normal, reasonable, and considerate person, but I will remember every single word from a conversation all in a row, and then like not do anything about remembering it. You know, that kind of thing. I'm awful to have around whenever like people at work are having like a spat, and they're like, "You said this," and someone's like, "No, you said that." And then I'm like, actually, you'll be interested to know that all of these words happened in a row. And everyone knows that I don't care about them. I only like, showing off. So they just assume that I'm telling the truth. I could lie. They wouldn't be able to know. The wheat wonders if it's planted by an insane person. Look, there's a Terry Pratchett book. I don't want you to think that this is my original observation, but the land gets mad at this king that's there, basically, and rebels against it, because the king doesn't love the land, the king doesn't respect it and stuff. And one of the witches in the book says, a country is like a dog. It doesn't care if its master is good or bad. It only cares that it loves it. And that's me and the wheat field. The wheat field doesn't care that I'm obviously a crazy person, and in fact, it's not important to it. The fact is, the wheat field can tell that I love it, and that's why it keeps on growing more wheat for me. After all, a sane person would never have planted this much wheat. First of all, they wouldn't have seen the need, or rather the desire to. And if they felt the desire, then they wouldn't have engaged in it, because they would have been like, "No, you'll appear to be strange. I, a person who has never worried about that, am not limited by that sort of consideration." And also, isn't it fun? I mean, not actually fun, but the bigger the field gets, I think it gets funnier and funnier. No, I've never planted wheat for that long in a row. So since we're doing this is the history of the wheat field. So it counts as just wheat. So I was playing on peaceful and planting wheat, and for the first time I saw a lightning bolt strike and a skeleton horse appeared, and I did not know the dynamics of that happening. I just thought there was a skeleton horse already, or a horse already, and it got struck by lightning, like right in front of me, and multiplied into 4 ones. I didn't realize that that's an event that happens, that the skeleton horse spawns in lightning storms, and the lightning bolt is effectively a cosmetic effect that duplicates it. So I set out trying to make it happen again, because I don't look anything up on the internet, right? So I kept one horse. I think they're still in the basement of the house, and then I have one over by spawn on a hill, because storms are unique to biome, right? So I didn't want to. If I was somewhere and the thunderstorm started, I didn't want to be outside of that effect. So, and then so there's one in the basement here because I wanted one, And I forget which one we have where, but of course we named him after the horses of the apocalypse. So we've got war and stuff, and then we kept one up here as well. And then there's another one over at the house. The skeleton horses. The one that used to live on the top of the hill is dead. But so I was waiting for storms, and I had the horses here. I thought that I needed the horses to get struck by lightning again to multiply it again, and that was what I cared about, right? So to pass the time while I sat around waiting for lightning storms to happen, I just decided, well, I'll plant more wheat. Planting wheat was fun. I could do more of that, and then I just kind of got away from me. And I would do my Minecraft videos. This is before I started streaming. I was just doing videos then. I would do my little update videos. Every time there'd be a thunderstorm, I would record it again because I wanted to catch it on video, because I thought it was really cool. And then I ended up, it never happened again for me in this world. But then I saw the storm event happen in one of my hardcore worlds, actually. World 334. What a beautiful world. I wish... No, I say I wish. I'm like, all the videos still on the internet. If I ever learn how to edit videos, I need to do a send-off for that hardcore world. It really meant a lot to me. I still have it. It's still on my computer and all, and of course the gameplay's all there, and of course the pets and the crime family is all reincarnated. But that was an awesome hardcore world. That's a whole lot of everything coalesced for the internal lore of my hardcore attempts, and stylistic things, and the crime family coming together. I missed the lush cave we were doing in that world. That was great. Angela, you say you like cats? I like cats too. My brother is allergic, so we just have a dog, but I am very fond of cats. I like how much they take care of themselves. You say dying from fall damage? Yes, that is usually how I die here, because I've got proper boots, but I like the way my character model looks better when we're not wearing armor. So my armor and stuff's in a chest somewhere, because you can't enchant your nothing with Feather Falling 4. I just looked up that dog, Angelo. That's a handsome dog. It looks like a Mastiff, or some sort of Mastiff breed. I love Mastiffs. I think they are just very, very beautiful creatures. My family never really had them, or rather didn't have them growing up. We typically had, Labrador retrievers and stuff. But we had many dogs over time, but our biggest dog was a Great Pyrenees, and he was wonderful. But the pet that I really want to get is I want to get a snake. I want to get like a ball python or some kind of python. But I look, I hate doing chores, right? I like to go to work, and whenever I get off work, I come home and I eat a bunch of snacks. I'm just shoving Pringles in my mouth. I'm eating fudge rounds. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I don't want to have to think about whether or not the snake needs to be fed a mouse. Like, I just want to eat my snacks. I'd rather not have a snake. No, I like snakes. But also, the problem with reptiles as pets as is like the general feelings of flattery you get from an animal. Well, that snake is not looking at you that way because it loves you. But I kind of like that about them too. You know, like a reptile looks at you and is just like, look, you can't make me like you better by manipulating me. You can't. That's not how I work. I'm something older and stranger than you. And I feel like that's a useful perspective because what a lot of people don't like about dogs, if they don't like them, I like dogs, but a lot of people don't like that dogs are so servile, that dogs are, very easily bribed into loving you. Some people like that about them. Some people love it about them. I think it's endearing. But a lot of people that like cats, they enjoy that it's hard to make cats like you. They enjoy that cats have their own individual personalities and you can't really influence them that much. They enjoy that if a cat doesn't like you, you can't make them like you. You can only like humbly submit your presence and like attempt to give them food and love for an extended period of time. Like they like the challenge and the independence. Whereas a dog that was that standoffish, it would be offensive. I mean, I know there's lots of different dogs, and some of them have had hard lives and stuff, and not every dog loves people. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If I go somewhere, I don't go that many places, but like if I go to one of my friends' houses or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this is my dog," I'm gonna like sit down on the floor and play with their dog immediately. But if they're like, "This is my dog," they won't like you. I'm like, well, then why am I here? I'm like, who does this dog think they are that I'm gonna be around them and they're not gonna get any pets, that they're not gonna like enjoy my presence? Like, what's the point of this whole contract? Like, why is dog without happiness? I just like, I know there's a purpose for like guard dogs and working dogs and stuff, but it always makes me feel kind of sad when like people train dogs to like be aggressive or unfriendly or whatever, because it's like, to me, it's like trying to get them to go against their nature, which is, after all, to be our friends. I'm sorry to hear that about your dog, Centaur. Our dog's old. I try not to think about it though. No, if I had my way, I would have, probably 2 cats, probably not 3. But I think that cats work much better if they have another cat to be their friend, and for them to, play around and engage with each other. Because one of the things that I very much love about cats is that, if you just maintain their space generally and, make sure that they have, clean places to do their business and such, that they'll largely take care of themselves. The cat doesn't need you to let it out. Like, if you have a headache or you just want to sleep in, like, you can just feed the cat. The cat isn't gonna, be annoying you by barking in the backyard or whatnot. I mean, maybe, depends. It just depends. That's funny, Angelo. You say there's like a legal precedent in some country where like you can't really be liable if domesticated cats gets you, but you can with dogs, and that makes sense too. Because, well, we expect dogs to be one way and we expect cats to be another way. And although a cat could just fly off the handle and attack somebody, I mean, pretty much any time I've heard of a cat just like smacking someone, not like in a playful way, but just like hitting them. They always had it coming, you know? But how I phrase it to people sometimes is that the cats weren't really domesticated at all. They were just tamed. Because if you scaled them up to the size of a lion, well, they would kill people, and we wouldn't be allowed to have them. You know, their behaviors would be lethal. But it's adorable when they sort of like pounce at your heels whenever you're jiggling them in a chair. Or not adorable, it hurts and it scares me. But you know. So you say I live in a place that looks like your house? Well, you know, I do live in a house, and houses in the European model do tend to resemble each other on the inside of the rooms. You know, ceilings, floors, walls, bookshelves. I assume all houses have bookshelves. Sometimes I'll go somewhere, like to one of my friends' houses or whatnot, and then they just like don't have any bookshelves, or they have bookshelves but they're like aren't books on them, or not very many, and I'm like, oh no, what if I get bored? I'm gonna have to read one of these 4 books, because y'all know I don't use a phone, so it's not like how it is for other people in the modern world. If you're bored somewhere, you can just pull your phone out. Like, no, if I didn't bring a book with me, I'm gonna have to read one of yours. And I'm never going back if you don't have a good selection. I'm not going to hold it against you being bored, but I will hold it against you if I don't have anything to read. Like, what kind of a house is that? I shouldn't go off. If that person ever watches this video, they'll know I mean them. It's actually more than a few people. You're going to go get a life, Centaur. Good luck, man. Tell me how that works out, man. Thanks for stopping by. We're probably going to be ending this before long, as I'm about to lose a valuable hour of time, thanks to the government, who can't keep their hands off the insides of my quartz clock. Alright, so what do we do here? Just plant the wheat all around and have the sandy part piercing through? I mean, probably, right? Probably? Yeah. Because if we do like a giant Bernie sculpture statue thing, where would we do it? There? No, I mean, it would be better to do it over there. You know, it could tower over the temple. Now that I thought of doing the burning statue of hay, I'm like, first of all, I need to figure out if hay blocks burn, and if they do, this is gonna be fun. Because I have, you know, several thousand hay blocks, and that's enough to build any size of a sculpture. I mean, it doesn't have to be in 3 dimensions. I mean, it does, but, you know, it doesn't have to have volume. You can put a hay block under a fire pit to make it smoke more. Nice. I learned one day that you can collect rainwater in a cauldron. I learned that in a pretty funny way. I had built a little place out on the ocean, and you know, pretended that it was, you know, like for people in the future to find or whatnot, potentially, you know, for future travelers. So we would leave, you know, supplies and whatnot, you know, leave a cauldron on in case anybody was coming by, they'd be able to warm up a cup of tea or whatnot. And then I was like, wait, there's water in the cauldron. It's never been important for me, but I love learning new things like that in the game. It's always fun. Because I can imagine ways where it could sometimes matter. But the only really cool discovery I've ever made in Minecraft is that you can grow like actual oak trees, or rather get oak wood. They aren't actual oak trees, they're acacia trees, from just like a source of bone meal and then moss blocks. Because you can bone meal the moss and then it'll turn into more moss if you just have like anything else that the moss will eat, like dirt or stone or whatever. And then sometimes it'll pop up the acacia, and then not acacia, no, oh god, I'm saying the wrong words. The little ones in the lush cave, the flowering ones, azalea. Exactly. Now they have non-salty water to make the tea. But it was a cool little place. Actually, yeah, you know what? Why don't we end the stream by going out there? I might have shown you that place before, Angelo. I only have a couple of places. The Terracotta Museum. Exactly, the pink bush tree. You ever seen the Terracotta Museum? We'll go out that way. But first of all, we'll fly over the wheat field. One last time. Cool, yeah, we'll head out over there then. We're not really going in the right direction. We're kind of going in the right direction. So it's like we had this way from spawn, you know, the route to the village and the wheat tree, and then we have like this whole other way that a huge amount of my other projects in this game have gone to. The other way up this river, because, you know, the river previously did not connect there. That canal connected the river, otherwise you had to trek across land. So that was originally like a different kind of place in my head, but these rivers were already existing. And then we built this canal here to connect it to the outside, but here's this little place. So we've got our vaporwave sheep. We haven't been out here in a while. We just yeah, but so some of them are like bluish and some of them are pink and orange and all of that. And then this is the ocean research station. I planted, you know, some flowers around, and we had various wheats, and then we put a little fire underneath the cauldron. And then, you know, we've got our little bookshelves and a little wool thing to sit on. And a little dock. This is when I was much more into... Do I know about Jeb sheep? I don't think so. And this is my first really big project. So when the first time I came out of the Nether, that portal is the place where I came up. And there's a lush cave down here. So what I did... maybe somewhere. But so what I did was I dug this whole hole into the ocean, right? With stone pickaxes, mind you. And I was like, this is going to be the best thing ever. It'll be a wonder of the world. And there's a couple amethyst geodes in the wall. Pretty cool. And then, you know, so we can get down here, and I was like, and then we'll be able to look down and see the lush cave from the surface. Well, anyway, I was kind of off. First of all, it's a lot further down than I anticipated, and you know, it doesn't really look that cool. But I spent a lot of time on that, and then Like, so much time with that. Because that's the first time I had ever seen a lush cave, and it was like, I came out of the nether, desperate to get home, and I, came up, and then that was what it was. But here, oh, here's my sugarcane farm. It's pretty nice. Because I have like 7,000 bookshelves because I'm building a great library eventually. So here's the sugarcane farm. And also the tree farm. And then here's where I tested my sugarcane tools. And here is my giant tree house made of trees. I didn't build it out of wood. I built it by growing trees next to other trees and then bone mealing them. But here's the inside. It's just a nothing. It's just a little tree house. And then we planted trees around the top to secure it. But here is the Terracotta Museum. I did a very bad job preserving this. It was the first one I ever found, and I didn't know you were supposed to use the brushes and stuff. And I also obliterated a lot of the cobblestone. But yeah, we excavated the whole thing. And, we cut our shapes around, and we figured out what we thought was going on, and then we built a big glass wall. Because where you see here where this sand was and stuff, this was all like ocean, but we filled it in and pushed the wall back and such. But there's a video a long time ago. It was called like Anthropology of the Terracotta People, and I approached my excavation like I was sort of like as if I was an enthusiastic like college student who was doing like a dig, and I was like just trying to figure out what I could say about the stuff. It was pretty funny, I thought. But yeah, that's the Terracotta Museum. You see my penchant for either very simple things or for very excessive things that don't necessarily make sense. I don't remember where it is. It's probably in this direction. Since we're about to end, I'll show you the other projects. But so we're gonna get out here some ways, and then there's gonna be an ocean monument that I almost filled in. It's like, I don't remember exactly where it is, but I do know that it's in this general direction, unless it isn't. Like, am I going the wrong way? Well, that would be embarrassing. And try naming a sheep Jeb. Got it. I think actually we might have... Okay, my bad. I think we went the wrong way. I don't think we're going to find this stuff this way. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, we're definitely going the wrong way. Well, I don't remember where the coordinates are. But anyway, we also... Jeb with an underscore. Got it. I'm like, it'll be in this direction. Let's just try... I'm like, is this a good spot? I'm thinking yes. So we actually should be sort of close to it. This isn't like that close to the project, is it? Yes, we're pretty close. Okay, so there's like coral reefs and stuff here, and it's just like a couple thousand blocks away. I had never really seen coral reefs. I didn't do a ton of exploring, except like occasionally. But over here, there's this village that was on the side of the cliffside, which was really cool. And you see here that I was building this platform. I meant to build like an awesome like ladder place on stilts, and there's actually a very beautiful thing here I wanted to show you. But I didn't end up building it. This was like right when I got really into the wheat field. But there's there's this bamboo forest there, and there's this open air lush cave that just opens right here into the side of the cliff, and you get to like look down at it, and I think it's pretty cool. But you know, that's not what we're out here for. We're out here for me to show you what. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I started building it. I didn't even know it was right around the corner, but it's like, you know, you get all of the dynamics of it, and you know, even from super far away, it still scans like really clearly into the night. And then there's a little mushroom island here. Turn in today, yes, absolutely. Thank you. I should have thought of that. Nope, that's not doing it. Alright, let's just get into a bed. Or no, it's time set. Day. Yeah, that sets it back to day 0, but it doesn't matter. My bad. I should have, it's not very cinematic to be flying in the dark, huh? If after all of this I can't find the ocean monument, it's gonna be pretty annoying. Here's a super weird ocean monument. That's a nice find, though. So it exists like, first of all, it's like perfectly encased in this little square, or near perfectly encased, and it's just like chilling there. But like, where is my ocean monument? It does exist. I just don't remember where it's at. Yeah, it's naturally generated, absolutely. There's like a lot of ocean monuments around here. And I drained one of them if I could find it. It's like a big project. It's so annoying that I can't see it. But I, you know, it's my own fault. Here we go. I'm like, it's here somewhere. It's here somewhere. But anyway, this is a research station too. We built villagers out here. This was a whole fun project. So eventually we're gonna like build a tunnel over and have a city around underneath in the coral reef is the plan. But yeah, we've got the villagers hanging out there, and so we came out and we built a platform, and then we just filled it in bit by bit. We originally built like a big row house on the top, and then they kept falling down in, and then we eventually took the top away. But yeah, but like, so like right here, and then you can just go inside, and then we built little stairs, and then they come inside here to hang out and to do their thing. It's not 100% drained. But yeah, that's that project. How did I dry it? Sand. I stood at the top and I dropped hundreds of sand down in blocks in a row, and then I broke them with a shovel. Before I learned that you could put a torch at the bottom and have them fall into it. And that's, yeah. So if we go to the statistics for the items for times used here, and it says 50,000 sand uses, and you're like, what did you do 50,000 times with sand? Well, that's what I did. That's what that 50,000 sands is. And yeah, so you basically start up and you make an entire pillar, and then as soon as you have area around it that is not water, then you You just pull it open. But I bet you could make machines to do it. Because you can dispense blocks from machines, like automatic egg dispensers for eggs. So you could do that with sand, which I could have had a whole row of them, just like filling them in and then moving them. You could probably automatically move them too. I know you can build like a chess computer in Minecraft. I can't. All I can do is plant wheat. But we've all got to have something, right? Say somebody dried a nether lava ocean with sand. A laudable goal. But anyway, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Time for me to go to bed so that I can wake up and complain about the clocks like an old man. Yeah. It just makes me so pleased to look out on it. I mean, all of this was planted a long time ago, but you know, there's a certain happiness in looking at your old accomplishments. But that's it for me today. Good night, Angelo. Thanks for hanging out. I will perhaps see you in another streamer video. You have a nice night. Good night, everyone. If I'm reaching you in the future, I hope the weather is nice there.